The worst of summer is here with record-breaking temperatures as a major heat wave engulfs a large chunk of the United States this week, and we're looking at significant severe weather events that could bring damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes, and flooding rains to the United States over the next 1 to 2 weeks. We're going to be tracking it here for you, so if you like straightforward, reliable, and accurate weather information, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We do daily updates on this channel for the weather across southern Canada, the United States, and the tropics. Like the video, give it a thumbs up, and share it with a friend, family member, and on social media. I definitely appreciate it. Looking at the severe weather forecast for today, in the yellow, stretching from the UP of Michigan through north central Wisconsin, south central Minnesota, northwestern Iowa, into southeastern South Dakota, and into Nebraska. In the yellow, that's where scattered severe thunderstorms will be possible. In the dark green, surrounding that across a large chunk of the upper Midwest, back there into the north central plains, including parts of the high plains there into the Rockies. That is where we have isolated severe thunderstorms possible from this afternoon into this evening, and there could be a few tornadoes, especially up there in northern Wisconsin. Notice that brown shaded color. That's a 5% chance of tornadoes within a 25-mile radius, and then you have a green area. That's a 2% chance of tornadoes across portions of south central Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, into the western and central UP of Michigan, and a small chunk of eastern South Dakota as well today. And then as we go into tomorrow on Thursday, July 24th, we have isolated severe thunderstorms and dark green across the high plains and eastern Rockies, eastern Wyoming down into Colorado and northeastern New Mexico, and then stretching from northern Illinois into southern and southeastern Wisconsin, the entire state of Michigan there into northern Indiana and northwest Ohio. That's where isolated severe thunderstorms will be possible on Thursday. Thankfully, tomorrow the tornado threat is less than 2% in all areas across the United States, so that's some great news. Looking here at the central U.S., then we'll go to the eastern U.S., then the western U.S., talk about the weather pattern over the next 48 hours. A lot of storm energy here across the Midwest into the purples. That's around 4,000 joules per kilogram of instability, and that's where those thunderstorms are going to start to get strong this afternoon and this evening. So here at noon, we got a couple of thunderstorms developing from the Dakotas into Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, dropping some heavy rainfall, also some gustier winds and smaller hail. As we go through the mid-afternoon, we're going to see even more development of a broken line of some strong to severe storms from the UP of Michigan and Lake Superior all the way down through northern Wisconsin, southern Minnesota, northwest Iowa, and into Nebraska, where they could pose a risk for 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, some quarter-size hail at times, and an isolated tornado or two, especially there into northern Wisconsin, with a lot of rotation in the atmosphere. Eventually, by this evening, into the overnight hours, those storms will slowly move into Iowa, especially the Des Moines area, up toward Waterloo and Rochester, Minnesota, even La Crosse, Wisconsin, and they could bring a gusty outflow with potentially some 60 mile per hour winds as they weaken as they push closer to the Mississippi River. Thursday morning, we are left with a few showers here across southern Iowa, a couple thunderstorms also up there in western Wisconsin, non-severe, I may add. And then as we go into the middle of the day, a lot of nothing happening, so that's some great news. And then as we go into the afternoon, we're going to see redevelopment of some storms from the Amarillo area up there just south of Kansas City towards St. Louis and Chicago, watching out for a few isolated, widely scattered severe thunderstorms that may be possible, especially for your Thursday evening. As far as heavy rainfall is concerned, we could be seeing potentially 1 to 3 inches worth of rain across Wisconsin, the western UP of Michigan, much of Iowa, especially the western side of the Hawkeye State, southern portions of Minnesota, back into Nebraska, and then as we go into Thursday, that drops a little bit further south, including more of the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles up there into Kansas, northern Missouri. Be keeping a close eye on that. Any of these storms, if they move over the same areas, could cause some flash flooding out there. Eastern U.S. here at noon, outside of a couple storms in Georgia and Florida, things are very quiet, and that will continue through the afternoon as our ridge of high pressure continues. And then going into the day on Thursday, a lot of nothing happening, maybe a couple storms popping up in the southeast is about it. And notice the rain is a lack of it across the northeast, the mid-Atlantic, the Tennessee Valley. Yeah, probably not seeing a drop of rain through your Friday morning, although down into southern Georgia and Florida with a tropical wave moving across that region, could be seeing some heavier rainfall down there. The western U.S. got a couple storms in eastern and central Montana. Here at noon, a monsoonal flow will activate, get some strong storms going across the Cheyenne area of Wyoming, down toward Denver and Albuquerque and Santa Fe as we go into this afternoon and evening. And then that will move further to the east and weaken as the sun sets. We lose the instability, and then we'll do it all over again as we go into Thursday in similar areas again across eastern Wyoming, central and eastern Colorado, and eastern New Mexico into the Texas panhandle there for Thursday evening. Now looking at rainfall, again, it's mainly limited to the eastern Rockies and the high plains, areas west here of the eastern Rockies, so the western Rockies and the western United States. Not really seeing much rainfall, in fact, bone dry in a lot of these states here out across the west through Friday morning. Going into Friday, July 25th, we have another isolated threat for severe weather into North Dakota, another one over here into the Northeast, including states of Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, getting into Massachusetts, the Rhode Island area for Providence, down here into Hartford and Connecticut, and into Northeast Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey. Those areas, isolated severe storms will be possible there on Friday. Here's Friday afternoon. Again, we got a line of thunderstorms trying to develop across the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and southern Great Lakes. That'll stretch up there into the Northeast, where a couple of storms could be severe at times. As we go into Saturday for the weekend, maybe some stronger storms there near Chicago and into Indianapolis, Detroit, keeping an eye on that for Saturday. And then going into Sunday, maybe a cluster of storms developing up into North Dakota, dropping southeast through Minnesota, bringing a threat for damaging winds, large hail, and a couple of tornadoes. And of course, some heavy rainfall. Now looking here at the ridge of high pressure, it is maximizing in intensity this afternoon, and you're going to feel it there in the Midwest, the southern Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley with the heat today. It will flatten out a little bit as we go into Thursday and Friday, and then for the weekend, flattening it out a little bit, but amplifying a little bit more further to the west into the plains. So as we go through this afternoon, it's going to be hot, right? Stifling heat from the Midwest down there to the Gulf Coast. High temperatures ranging from the upper 80s up here toward Minnesota, Wisconsin, to the triple digits down into Louisiana, Arkansas, and East Texas. And that will continue as we go into Thursday. A lot of triple digit heat for Dallas, Fort Worth, Little Rock, into Oklahoma City and Memphis. And then look at the cold front, bringing some cooler air at times, upper 70s to mid 80s to the northern plains, upper Midwest on Thursday, still some humidity around. And then the heat comes right back for the weekend with 90s surging back up into the plains and some low 90s in the Midwest as well. Heat indexes today and tomorrow in the Midwest, with the Corn Belt especially, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, those areas could be pushing 110 degrees. So make sure to hydrate, and also if you have to venture outdoors or you work outdoors, that you find not only just shaded areas, but air-conditioned areas as well, because with dew points in the low 80s this time of year, the shade's just not really going to do it for you to keep you cool. Now looking here at overnight lows, starting off on Thursday, going to be some record warm lows here across portions of the Mississippi Valley up into the central Great Lakes, starting off already into the mid and upper 70s. So when you start that warm, it's going to be a warm Thursday out there, and that will continue on to Friday further to the east, and then Saturday, Sunday, notice that we had a lot of 70s on the map here. So a lot of the mornings over the next few days going to be starting mild here and humid into the 70s out there across the central and eastern United States. Next week on Monday, July 28th through Friday, August 1st, that ridge is going to expand and retrograde a little bit further off to the west, encompassing more of Colorado, New Mexico, and West Texas. That means the heat will be promised from the southeast further west into the southern plains and Red River Valley. Some heat getting up there into the Pacific Northwest as well, but notice the blue. We got frequent cold fronts coming down across the upper Midwest, bringing some relief from the heat on the northern side, and then we got a little bit of some cooler air at times in the desert southwest, but even cool air in the desert southwest this time of year really isn't that cool. Now looking here at the precipitation, it looks to be above normal here into the north central plains, stretching over into the Midwest. A little bit drier for the Northeast, a little bit drier down here toward Florida as well as we go into next week. And notice Florida, we're going to talk about this here. We have a 10% chance from the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida, highlighting the area of the northern and northwestern Gulf. And this is areas near coastal Texas, coastal Louisiana, and Mississippi that need to watch for the potential of a tropical system over the next 7 days. No need to panic, but something to keep an eye on. The warm waters are there, right? So the northern Gulf and the shelf waters of the northern Gulf around the Texas coast, the Louisiana coast, especially there near Lake Pontchartrain, very, very warm right now outside New Orleans, and then into these areas near Gulfport, Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama, just very, very warm water. So if this system can get going, it definitely could rapidly intensify. Now we look here at the probabilities over the next 10 days. This goes through August 1st, next Friday, and notice on the ensemble guidance is showing a 40% chance of a tropical depression forming. The National Hurricane Center right now at a 10%. So it is a little bit more bullish here on the ensemble guidance for a tropical depression to form, but the tropical storm probably not going to happen. Right now the ensemble guidance showing a zilch, zero chance of that happening over the next 10 days through Friday, August 1st. So we'll keep an eye on that. Right now it looks to be a rain system, so more rain for Florida, southern Georgia along the Gulf Coast there, Mobile, Panama City, New Orleans, Gulfport over there toward Houston. Not like extremely heavy rain, but there will be rainfall that could cause flash flooding on the order of 2 to 5 inches. So just make sure that, if you have heavy rainfall, you see a lot of flooded roads, that you avoid those flooded roads if they do occur across that region. Now looking here in the East Pacific, also a 30% chance of development to the south and east of Hawaii. And it's still very far from the big island of Hawaii here. We'll continue to watch it for you in the East Pacific, but other than that, it is moving over some cooler water. So again, a 30% chance, still a low chance here in the East Pacific. Thank you all for watching. If you like straightforward, reliable, accurate weather information daily on the channel, make sure to subscribe, like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, family member on social media. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, make sure to jot that down in the comment section down below this video. We are here 24/7, all day, all night to answer any and all questions, comments, and concerns that you may have. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support, and have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday out there.